I must reiterate, who's got the time? I should probably make the time though. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, I'm Fat Sajak, and well, today we're going to be talking about Teen Mom. We haven't talked about Teen Mom here in a hot ass minute. Hot ass? I don't know. Came out of my mouth. Hot ass didn't come out of my mouth. The word, never mind, you get it. We haven't talked about Teen Mom in a while, mostly because Paramount, after I spent months and months saying like, God, Paramount is so good about releasing copyright claims and so quickly, and then they decided, no, never again. So if you were really into my Teen Mom rewatch and then wondered where it went, that's where it went. I've talked about it a lot over the course of the past, like, few months, but I moved the full rewatches. We're still doing them. We're still in it. They're just over on Patreon now. You can join the lowest tier and still receive all the content benefits. We just finished watching Teen Mom OG Season 1, and we're about halfway through Teen Mom 2 Season 5. We're going to be still doing all of them. We're still doing the next chapter and Family Reunion and Young and Pregnant and all those good things. We are also rewatching a bunch of other things. So we just did Spice World recently. We're doing I Love the 90s. All kinds of good stuff. You know, obviously I don't like to ask you for your money, but a lot of you who liked my Teen Mom content were always asking me where it went, or you were confused by it just going away. And that's where it is. And like I said, you can join at the lowest tier and you get all of the video content. So I try to keep it as absolutely as cheap as Patreon will allow me. So $1 tier gets you whatever you got. So I know times are hard. I know life is crazy. I know we're literally trying to claw our way out of a dumpster fire right now. So, you know, if you miss the content and you want it, it's there for $1 a month. Okay. I will be adding things to the higher tiers, and I will be making new tiers. But the people who join where they are now, you're not going to lose anything. So there's that. Anyway, today I just want to talk about a few pieces of Teen Mom tea that just seemed like fun to talk about. So today we're going to talk about KAIL and JENELLE, and then we're going to talk about FARRAH as well. And then I have a little update on BARB. So KAIL, JENELLE, BARB, FARRAH. Mostly KAIL and JENELLE though. So if you're into this content, make sure you subscribe, because I do still cover Teen Mom topics. We will still do all of that. And I still, I think I'm going to do more of the deep dives on the ladies of Teen Mom. And I can put those here, because those will not get me flagged. So I decided I wanted to do that. I had a lot of crazy plans to make like new recaps and stuff like that. And I don't know if I can make it happen as often as I want to. So I'm reworking that. I'm not saying it's off the table. I'm just saying I'm reworking it, okay? I'm only one woman. There's only one of me. I gotta produce, film, edit, and upload and manage. So just bear with me. We'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. But yeah, so I'm toying with the idea of doing some more deep dives. But today's gonna be a little bit deep divey. So KAIL and JENELLE, both of Teen Mom 2, have been feuding lately again, and I have a few Ashley articles here that I wanted to go through, a few videos I wanted to go through, just to cover the bases. We're drinking bubbly today because we're hydrated and gassy. So the origins of their feud actually go all the way back to about 2016, when JENELLE was coming for KAIL for having plastic surgery from Dr. Miami, which, like, okay. And I will link all these Ashley articles below, just so you know. But in this article, JENELLE is quoted as saying, "If I don't like my stomach, I'm going to go work out, stay active and healthy, because honestly, I can go get all this work done, but in a couple years, gravity's going to pull all that down and it's not going to look that great." Ironically, JENELLE recently revealed that she just had the mommy makeover surgery she slammed KAIL for having back in 2016. Literally, she's documenting her recovery process right now as we speak. Which, again, nothing wrong with, if that's what's going to make you happy, fine. Get yourself a mommy makeover. I watched Jade recover from her mommy makeover in an episode, across a few episodes of Teen Mom 2. Never. I would rather be a flappy, floppy piece of shit the rest of my life than have to recover like that. No, thank you. In 2018, KAIL predicted on one of her podcasts that she and Leah Messer might throw hands at Janelle during the Teen Mom 2 reunion that was coming up after Janelle's then husband, David Eason, made some snide comments on social media about Leah's daughter, Aaliyah, and Janelle defended him. Because Janelle defended him in all of these cases, because she was, you know, he was her husband, and she's a good, and David was a good guy until he wasn't. Oh, and if you're wondering what it is that David said about Aaliyah, who is Leah's daughter, he made comments about her cheer makeup and how inappropriate it was, and I wonder what Corey thinks of that. First of all, Corey's hat is the one in charge over there, okay? It goes Miranda, Corey's hat, then Corey, okay? He ain't making no decisions in that house. Second of all, why are you talking about other people's daughters? That's fucking weird. He's fucking disgusting. Anyway, again, this was in 2018. A few months later, KAIL brought up Janelle on her Coffee Combos podcast after Janelle accused her of using her name for clout. I don't think Janelle's bringing the kind of clout she thinks she is. She has a very... There's a reason we call her Delusionelle, because she is deluded enough to think that her name brings some kind of clout. I don't care about Janelle or what she does, KAIL said at the time. If she's making headlines and we talk about it, that's really it. I'm not sure why she continues to tweet about me. Both of us keep the feud going, but you can't sit there and say I can't say stuff about you on the podcast when you're making these crazy videos you're doing. Whatever you're doing, that's obviously making headlines, so we're going to talk about it. I think the crazy videos she's talking about are like the TikToks she was making at the time. Like she did that, like, what was that, Drake challenge or whatever, where you're like not in your car and but the car is moving and you're dancing or whatever. I don't remember. KAIL advised Janelle to not post dumb shit on social media if she doesn't want people to say anything about her. Fair. Okay, and I'm not like a dick rider for KAIL, okay? I can absolutely call KAIL on her bullshit. I will say I prefer KAIL to Janelle. You know, I can understand where KAIL's a hard line for some people too. Later that year, Janelle infamously burned a press kit that KAIL sent her from her hair care line. Janelle told KAIL not to send her any more, quote, peace gathering items. Yeah, they actually edited that to correct her in the show, which we'll get there. We're only a couple seasons away over on the rewatch. But yeah, she legitimately burned the the pothead hair care that was sent to her. I believe KAIL sent it with a card that referred to it as a peace offering. And apparently Janelle thought offering and gathering are the same word. In 2019, the dueling duo got into an online scrap after Janelle felt that KAIL had been bragging on Teen Mom 2 about all the time she'd helped Janelle out. Janelle was none too pleased with KAIL's bragging, prompting her to blast her online. I remember that scene where KAIL was talking to her friend Becky, who is now one of her podcast hosts, and they were talking about how much Janelle hates KAIL and that she had actually, you know, bailed Janelle out of jail, and, you know, that they were really close in the beginning. And it didn't feel boastful. I will have to go back and watch it, but like it didn't feel boastful to me. It wasn't like a, look at all these things I've done. It was like, I'm confused because I've helped you out a lot. But of course, Janelle's response to that is to pretend like they were never friends, because why would they be? Don't act like you're my hero now, Janelle wrote at the time. You gave me a ride in the past to pick up my mom. That's helping someone's entire life and doing so much for them. If anything, the only woman that helped me through my deepest, darkest time was my mother, Janelle added. Thanks to her, I was able to get through it all and overcome everything. Okay. Two things. One, that's helping someone's entire life and doing so much for them is stupid. Because, like, that's a completely subjective thing, and that's moving a goalpost. Like, Janelle's got, like, a 12-year-old's mentality. You know what I mean? There's, like, a level of immaturity there that, like, you can't reason with, right? Because no matter what, she's just gonna dwindle down the things you actually did for her or didn't do. And I don't think KAIL's point was like she saved her life. I think she was like, hey, I was a friend to you. I'm confused. Like that's always the vibe that I had gotten. And yeah, the only woman that helped you through your deepest, darkest time was your mother, for sure. So it's kind of weird that you spent your whole life treating her like shit and, you know, causing problems for her. In 2020, the girls engaged in a back and forth online fat-shaming feud. And the following year, Janelle revealed that she had turned down an offer to go on KAIL's podcast due to KAIL refusing to apologize to her off air. I feel like KAIL uses who she wants to gain popularity, and I wasn't up for that, Janelle said in a YouTube video posted June 2021. This podcast wasn't about KAIL wanted to... God, Janelle. This podcast wasn't about KAIL wanting to reconcile with me. It was really about ratings. I feel like in the past, KAIL's always used me. It's always been using people with her, and I don't know if she'll ever change. Okay, there's that clout again. In 2022, KAIL actually issued an apology to Janelle. However, the apology was not to end their feud. Instead, KAIL revealed she owed Janelle an apology for blaming her for leaking her pregnancy to the media back in 2017. KAIL, who was pregnant with Lux at the time, stated that Janelle deserved an apology since she had recently discovered that it wasn't Janelle who blabbed. In more recent years, the girls have randomly taken jabs at each other over various topics. So why is all of this coming up now? KAIL was guesting, basically, at her friend Matt Matthews' comedy show in Alabama. Someone had asked KAIL, like, what's the pettiest thing you've ever done? And KAIL insists that she's not petty. Which, girl, you got the nickname Petty Betty from somewhere. And Matt told the audience she's correct, her baby daddies be doing some fucked up shit, and I'm like, bust their windows out. And she won't. She's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. First of all, that's not someone not being petty. That's someone not committing crimes. KAIL went on to explain to the audience she doesn't retaliate against her baby daddies by maiming their means of transportation because she pays for, quote, all their cars and would essentially be paying to repair her own vehicles. That's petty. Like, I after, like, watching this show for so long and listening to the way these girls talk and the way they talk about certain things, like, I can absolutely infer, having only just read that she was joking. Yes, do I think it was something to, like, poke and prod and, like, be petty? Yeah, I do. Do I think she was being serious about it? No, of course not. Then the part that really took off was there was an audience member who said they watch Teen Mom 2 every night. She asked who her favorite was on Teen Mom 2, and she said KAIL. And KAIL says, oh, thank God. Thank God it's not Janelle or Brianna. KAIL also has a long-standing feud with Brianna. You know, like I said, I'm not a dick rider for KAIL. KAIL is obviously the problem in a lot of situations. I do unfortunately see a lot of myself in KAIL, or like parts of KAIL that I'm like, I see you and I really relate to you. There are a lot of parts that I really do not, though. So this was literally the only catalyst for this feud to pick up. Because real quick, Janelle woke up and chose, not violence, but I don't know, to open her big ass mouth. So Janelle writes on Facebook, KAIL has to mention me and Brie at some point in her, quote, live shows, which it's not her live show. Because how else would she get views? It's a live show. The views are already there. What are you talking about? And it's not even her show. But move over, KAIL. My podcast and network is next. Of course it is. Janelle has had 2, I think, failed attempts at podcasts, as well as a failed makeup line with a brow kit, if you can imagine that. I believe athleisure wear. Yeah, she's really tried it. Like, if you think the Jaclyn Hill lipsticks were bad, Janelle's eyebrow kits were something else. KAIL commented on this post that said, I just peed from laughing so hard. I don't remember in what order this all goes in, to be honest with you. The first thing I saw was this video from KAIL.
Obviously, by now, I've already seen Janelle throwing shots. I honestly don't give a fuck. I would love to see someone make a TikTok with the whiteboard with the beef timeline, because you're not about to come on these fucking apps and try to clown me, Janelle. If you didn't have me blocked, I'd at you myself. Actually, I'd call you if I had your fucking number. The friend that I was to you, you can't say shit about me. So everything that you fucking do is just truly just gonna come back to you in karma tenfold. Like, you're forgetting when you stole my friend's items and I had to bang on your fucking hotel room to get her shit back. You're forgetting when I had to call out of work because MTV is begging me to go get you, and I said, you know what, I want to make sure she's good, let me go pick her up. You're forgetting when I took you and your mom to the airport. You're forgetting I picked up you in Cortland when y'all were strung out in New Jersey. Y'all are forgetting when I bailed her out of jail. Like, please do not fuck with me today.
Another day of waking up to a bitch talking shit about me. Hey KAIL, how you doing? We haven't talked in years. Wonder why we haven't talked in years. Oh, since we're going over everything about being friends, let's go over everything you've done to me. Remember the TikTok video you made like 2 months ago about your shit list and you posted it publicly on TikTok? That's when my mom was going through a stroke, but you had to bring me up. Weird. You just had a live comedy tour with that Matt dude you're friends with, and you had to bring up me and Bree. You had to just throw a jab at us, had to bring up our name. Oh, remember how I used to work with Johnny, stopped working with him, started working with him again? Yeah, well, now I have my old manager back, and who did you have on your podcast? My old manager, talking mad shit about me. And who started that? You did. Remember when I was going to come out with a pregnancy product and you went behind my back and told Johnny, hey, you should kick Janelle out. You actually should have me because I'm better. Remember telling Johnny, oh my God, get me into the OK Magazine events. Remember telling me, hey, can you get me into any events, Janelle? And I did. Every time. And we would walk into the reunion and I didn't exist to you. That's how it always went. But when you need someone's help, you're their best friend. And that's how you operate. And this is why you have no friends. This is why you keep no friendships or relationships. Now, I'd appreciate it if you come up with some other topic other than me and Bree to talk about all the time, because we seem to be running laps in your head, which is pretty crazy. But anyway, stay tuned for my podcast. It's going to be coming out very soon. So step over, KAIL.
Okay, so obviously there's like a lot going on there. You know, a lot. Obviously, like all of these things that they're saying are very she said, right? But here's a couple of things. The shit list that Janelle is talking about was a betrayal list that KAIL posted. And one of the items was Janelle, and in parentheses it said something like, for some reason this is happening right now or whatever. Betrayal list, my mother, paper straws, crumble cookies, always a disappointment, agreed, gross. My lip, she had like a procedure done to have her double chin basically removed, and she had nerve damage in her lip. Men as a collective, period. Whoever did my makeup for Teen Mom reunions, period. Janelle, not sure why that's been a thing lately. My bowels on many occasions, my brain, shout out ADHD, nail transition videos, and Tyreek Hill's leg. Okay, so like that's her betrayal list. Janelle says, oh, that's when my mom had a stroke. First of all, someone on Reddit, or maybe it was the Ashley, if I can find it, I'll link it. Someone had mentioned the fact that like when this happened on this day, this was still before it was publicly announced that her mom had had a stroke, that Barbara had had a stroke. So there was no way that KAIL would have been able to know that. And it's my understanding that it became public when Janelle found out about it, like shortly after she found out about it. So there's a good chance that Janelle didn't even know that Barbara had had a stroke at that point. There is a Reddit post that says the shit list Janelle keeps bringing up was the same day her shit-talking KAIL interview with The Sun came out. That's why Janelle landed on her betrayal list. Funny how quickly Janelle forgets her part she plays in all the drama. Let's also not forget every time she does a Q&A, KAIL is mentioned and she shit-talks her. And scene. That's super Janelle. That's the most Janelle thing I've ever heard in my life. But we're not done, okay? We're not done yet. Because someone did make a fucking whiteboard video. I'm not going to be using her video. I have not even gone back in to see her video. Let me get the creator's name so that if you want to check it out, you can. C.H.E.L.S.E.Y_. Okay, so that's the creator who made the actual whiteboard. The reason we're going to watch this video, she's stitched this video. Janelle's been deleting all these videos, by the way, that she's making about, she deleted that last one that we just watched. She deleted the one from Facebook anyway. Or I'm sorry, from TikTok. She deleted this one.
Janelle has to share every minute detail of her life, even the horrible parts, because that's how she gets paid the money that she gets, which is substantially lower than what KAIL gets.
Imagine hating on me for all this KAIL drama and I'm literally sitting here editing my YouTube vlog just like laying in bed.
What a flex.
So let me reintroduce myself to you guys since you forgot who I am and what I've been about.
Nobody forgot. I think you forgot.
I came up with my own little list of accomplishments that is actually factual, so let's go over it. Starting out strong, I submitted myself to be on MTV. Why? Because I have been film editing since I've been in 3rd grade.
Which would have been around 1999. What were you film editing on? Adele in Windows 95?
So even though KAIL is in the podcasting world, I've been in the film editing world and making videos, making vlog content before it was ever popular.
Yeah. And I've been in coding ever since MySpace was around. I've been a makeup artist since I stole my mom's 2-pan Revlon.
So when a lot of you say like, oh my god, what does Janelle know about podcasting? Well, I don't really have to know much because I have a whole team behind me supporting me.
Name them. Name all of them.
A lot of you said that I dropped out of high school and you're trying to spread that rumor around. No, I actually went to a school called Early College High School and I graduated early. Didn't even graduate with my class because I didn't feel like walking across stage. After that, I went to college and I graduated with medical assisting.
You can't graduate with medical assisting. That's not a sentence.
Then, of course, we get into the autobiography that I wrote. I put all my childhood diaries in there that I saved over the years, so definitely go check that out on Amazon because it's still there. My YouTube page I started back in 2012 when, like, YouTube was, like, almost first invented, but I got my first YouTube check in 2010.
Wow. YouTube started in, like, 2006. It became monetizable a few years later. This is not an accomplishment. I love y'all. I love my job. I love getting to sit here and talk to a Canon and then thousands of you see it. Lovely. Love that for us. This isn't an accomplishment. I love my community that I've built. I love you guys. I love this channel. I love the ability to be here. Would I call this an accomplishment? In a defensive way? No, probably not.
Right when Jace was 1 year old, which is crazy because it's way before I even joined Teen Mom. So I felt like really, really happy for myself because I was successful without the cameras. And that was my first taste into monetization online. And then I got addicted.
Well, you got addicted to everything else, so why not?
Shortly after that, I went on vacation so much and I wanted to scuba dive, but I couldn't. So went and got certified for scuba diving.
Again, not an accomplishment.
After that, Facebook started really popping off. So then that turned into a revenue stream. After me and Nathan broke up in 2015, I actually started promoting products, and that's when collaborations started to begin. In 2020 is when I started my TikTok page. I was the first teen mom to do so, and that blew up overnight.
Cool. What if your parenting blew up overnight? That would be a way bigger accomplishment.
Which also turned into another revenue stream. So by this time, I had 3 revenue streams. Then in 2022, you can see I started my other subscriber page, and then that blew up so much, I bought a yacht. And because I bought a yacht, I actually went and took captain courses.
Oh, you mean the big giant boat that you took out onto choppy water and then the Coast Guard had to come save you? The judge ruled that David could basically keep living in it. So it's just docked in a marina somewhere. Accomplishments.
Later on in 2026, you can see my gardening brand, and also I'm going to launch a podcast.
He wants a podcast from you, girl. You're good for sound bites and mispronouncing words. That's about it.
Just because I don't put myself out there anymore as often as you guys like doesn't mean that I'm broke or useless or don't have my own personal accomplishments, because I just don't boast about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, because half of those things aren't even accomplishments. Actually, I would argue that 3/4 of those things are not actually accomplishments.
Bragging is unattractive in my opinion.
So is an overuse of filters. Anyway, LB made her own list, and we'll go over that one. I chose L's. I haven't looked it over yet, but I trust L because she's a she's one of the Teen Mom historians. So let's look at LB's list of their comparing accomplishments, and then I want to look at something else. So Elle posted this on her Instagram. Jenelle Evans versus KAIL Lowry, post-Teen Mom outcomes comparison. On the left, we have Jenelle Evans, who dropped out of high school due to teen pregnancy, later earned GED. Well, she's been corrected on that one. Completed medical assistant certificate, but never established a career in the field. Wrote a book, but it did not make the New York Times bestseller list. I think she's probably the only teen moms who didn't. JE Cosmetics eyebrow kits dissolved after poor sales and negative feedback. Attempted athleisure workout clothing line, one promotional release, no sustained launch. Podcast attempts. Girl Shit podcast ended before recording. Jenelle Evans podcast, brief run, abandoned. Children's potty/urinal product, Little Kaisers, never materialized. That's weird. I don't remember that. Sponsor products, detox teas, mushroom, coffee, discontinued after backlash. Cannabis-related business ideas, announced repeatedly, never successfully launched. There was even a portion of Teen Mom where she had met with somebody to talk about it, and like it just never materialized. Labor aid/breathing device commercial filed, no market traction. Blog and Etsy resin craft store, minimal traction, discontinued. Post MTV pitches and documentaries, none picked up by networks. Primary consistent income in recent years is OnlyFans subscriptions, which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, whatever. For KAIL, graduated high school after having a baby. Earned a bachelor's degree in mass communications while raising children. First Teen Mom cast member to complete a 4-year college degree. New York Times bestselling author, multiple titles. Founder and owner of Killer Podcast Network. Host of top-performing podcasts, Barely Famous, Coffee Convos, Karma and Chaos. Recipient of Webby Awards and Signal Awards. Successful podcast rebrands and long-term audience growth. Apparel and brand partnerships tied to media success. Ongoing development of community-focused projects, including a youth sports center. Widely recognized as a scalable media entrepreneur. Yeah, I mean, like KAIL or not, like, KAIL has always had the focus and the drive to be, like, a successful person, whatever she's doing. Even though she could be a huge bitch, she was also working and going to school and succeeding. Like, she wasn't just complaining about having to do things. To try to compare side by side, girl, come on. Anyhow, the thing I really wanted to see came up on Reddit for me naturally. And someone said, can we please compare their arrest records? And someone listed them all. Crime Mia River 19 on Reddit. Hope you don't mind the shout out. Is it listed October 2010, arrested for breaking and entering and drug possession with then boyfriend. March 2011, arrested for assault following a fight that was caused on video. This was all after she was monetized on YouTube, by the way, which was a huge accomplishment. August 8th, 2011, arrested for violating probation. January 10th, 2012, arrested for alleged harassing phone calls and communicating threats. January 16th, 2012, arrested for violating a domestic violence protective order. March 5th, 2012, arrested on cyber stalking charges, turned herself in. June 24th, 2012, arrested on marijuana possession and paraphernalia charges after calling police related to a domestic dispute. Charges dropped later. April 23rd, 2013, arrested in Caswell Beach, North Carolina on heroin possession with intent to distribute. Possession of paraphernalia and simple assault with then-husband Cortland Rogers after a domestic dispute. May 20th, 2013, arrested on warrant for escaping court on cyber stalking charge. December 14th, 2013, arrested for disturbing the peace during an argument with then-boyfriend Nathan Griffith. May 28th, 2015, approximate, arrested in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for driving without a license and reportedly for third-degree assault. Multiple media reports. October 13th, 2018, 911 call. That was 3 years without an arrest. She should have added that to her list of accomplishments. 911 call and police response. Police responded to a reported domestic assault involving Jenelle and husband David Eason at their North Carolina home. No arrest was reported at the time. Jenelle later described it as a drunk misunderstanding. This is when David allegedly broke her collarbone. May 2018, traffic/road rage incident. Jenelle pulled a gun on a motorist while her child was in the car. She called police during this traffic dispute. No specific arrest details were released, but she's been arrested many times over the years, including for similar offenses. We all remember this one, right? We've covered this here on the channel. 2019, multiple police calls reported 25 calls to Jenelle's home, including welfare checks and domestic-related incidents amid severe family custody issues. October 2023, child abuse investigation in 911. David Eason, Janelle's then husband, was charged with felony assault by strangulation of Janelle's oldest son, Jace. We're supposed to have that court date. It's supposed to be this month, isn't it? This led to CPS involvement and temporary removal of Jace. Janelle and David both made conflicting statements, and at least one police 911 interaction was reported as part of the investigation. October 2024, 911 call. Janelle called police reporting her teen son Jace smashing everything in the home. This incident reportedly led to Jace being removed from the residence again and CPS involvement. April 12, 2025, 911 call. Janelle called police on her son Jace in Nevada, describing violent behavior in the home. KAIL was arrested in 2020 for punching her ex. So we see how those line up. Then Janelle went on this whole thing. Yeah, I'm not even done. I'm still talking. I'm still yapping over here. So then, Ashley puts out this article a couple days ago. Janelle basically was claiming in a video that Lindsay Chrisley, who is KAIL's co-host for Coffee Convos, and their podcast has been going on for years at this point. So I don't listen to Coffee Convos, but Janelle claims that Lindsay Chrisley came to her first and was basically like stalking her via text to get her to do the podcast with her or whatever. So according to the Ashley, Janelle Evans hit TikTok live over the weekend, lashing out at a variety of people, making several eyebrow-raising claims, many of which involve her Teen Mom 2 co-star turned nemesis KAIL Lowry, who Janelle recently reignited her longtime feud with. During her social media, During her social media rant, Janelle claimed that KAIL only got the job on Coffee Convos podcast because she basically turned the gig down. Janelle claimed that KAIL's co-host Lindsay Chrisley initially came to her with the idea for Coffee Convos and was allegedly so desperate to work with Janelle that she wouldn't leave her alone, causing Janelle to ignore the offer and Lindsay in turn to then go to KAIL and ask her to partner with her on the podcast. In an exclusive statement to the Ashley, however, Lindsay flat out denied Janelle's claim and went on to accuse Janelle of trying to use KAIL's podcasting success as a way to drum up content for her own upcoming podcast. Lindsay, who told the Ashley that she has never met Janelle and has only spoken to her once when they were both in Los Angeles at the same time years ago, advised Janelle to ask KAIL for some tips if she wants her own podcast to be a success. I find it completely outlandish that Janelle's trying to attach herself to KAIL's name to make headlines in the podcast space. If she's that hard up for wanting to do a show, I'm sure KAIL would discuss with her the Vertical Killer Network, which is a vertical of Podcast One. That's really funny. Because, I mean, the thing is like, whether or not you like KAIL is irrelevant. Like, KAIL is successful in the podcast space, period. Like, it's not subjective. Like, I just think it's really funny that Janelle is so delusional that she really thinks, like, I'm going to have a podcast, and it's going to be number one, and, like, I'm going to do better than you. Like I've said about like I said about Janelle all the time. The only thing Janelle wants to do is prove other people wrong. And even when she's, like, ill-equipped to do so. So, that's where we're at right now with these two. I'm sure it'll be never fucking ending.
I also forgot to mention the reason I think this is all coming out right now is they're testing the waters for a new season of Teen Mom 2 because this kind of drama only surfaces for that. So I think they're market testing, like, which girls would do better and if they want to bring people back, because usually this kind of drama really only comes up around the time a season's gonna start. So I'm curious to see if we hear something from MTV in the next couple of months.
Before we go, Barb's doing okay according to Janelle's sister Ashley. She had some kind of like setbacks. It's a real slow going recovery, but apparently she's doing all right. Every day's a little bit better. She's got friends and fam around taking care of her, so if I hear anything else about Barb, I'll let you know. And before we go, I want to let you know, specifically if you live in, the Austin area, that Farrah Abraham is gonna try to be your mayor. No, for real though.
Austin, Texas, it's official. Your girl Farrah Abraham is back, but as the candidate running for mayor 2026. Thank you in advance for voting for me. I am so grateful for this opportunity. Check back at mayораbraham.vote weekly for updates.
She will touch a house for sale sign for you. So, in the spirit of keeping Austin fucking weird, vote Farrah Abraham if you think Austin should be a more confusing place to live.
Time out.
There's some questions about why she's declared right now, but joining us now is the candidate herself to talk about her platform. Farrah Abraham, welcome back to TMZ Live. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good. Thank you guys. I'm super excited to be a candidate for mayor of Austin. I'm running super early, so I can't wait to see who's going to run with me and challenge me.
So sometimes people say the less you know, the more you like. You are now giving them many years to make a decision.
We should say,
because the election's not until 2028. Why so early?
Oh, for some reason, the mayor election is 2026. I don't know. That's just what the office told me as well.
Well, we should get some clarity here.
Are you okay? So am I running for district? So district will be, which is federal. I'm running local right now. So local is a little bit different than federal. I did say my hope after running for local is for a local district, which is in 2028. So I do have hopes for running for district, but for right now, I'm going to stay in a nonpartisan category, which is mayor.
Okay, I want to make sure we can get some clarity here.
I'm just going to be running for mayor, which is 2026. You also have Spencer Pratt, who's going to be running for mayor for Los Angeles.
That election actually is this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
yeah. So I don't believe mayors are on a different
Yeah, no, it's different in every city.
Know what okay, so I just know what my city has told me.
Please call the City Hall in Austin, Texas, and find out when the election for mayor is in Austin. Maybe call the mayor's office. So Farrah, we just got this in our ear. The election's in 2028. So you know there was a 2-year term with a vacancy in 2022, but now it's aligned with the presidential election. So it is 2028. So I think you may have jumped the gun here.
I love that I jumped the gun. I love if I jumped the gun. But yeah, so I think, I don't know, there's also a lot going on locally. So if someone also misinterpreted that and told me different, that's okay too.
Shut the fuck up! Anyway, I sure hope that this video finds you well. It just finds me. I have to go get my car fixed now. It's making a sound. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, let me know. If you have any requests on the mom that needs a deep dive next. Ew, that sounded weird. Yeah, you get it. Just let me know who it is you want to see. Take a look through the ones that we've already done. If somebody needs a redo, or if you want one in particular, let me know. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed. I think they're doing subscriber purge again. So just make sure you're subscribed if you actually want to be here. Make sure you like the video. Come over to Patreon if you want to watch the rewatches. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!